I do not believe the Frogdog is a natural inhabitant of the swamp. Let's start at the most obvious point, splitting its name in half, frog and dog, and let us consider its offspring, little pups, entirely infant dogs, with no hint of frog at all. And these pups, they spew from the parent continuously, unceasingly. Just from pure observation, there are far, far more offspring than grown frog dogs. So I would like to combine what we gather from their infants with what we see in their productive rate and what we know about the powerful mutagenic properties of the swamp to suggest the frog dog is not a natural inhabitant of the swamp. It is not frog by birth and is transformed into the beast we see due to its constant exposure to its surroundings. The reason I introduced the frog dogs in relation to the deaths of our own at the hands of the environment is because I believe we are seeing the same narrative play out for the frog dog, only on a major, more violent and excessive scale. As it births vast quantities of frog pups or dog poles, they immediately fall into the waters and are exposed to the toxins. The mutations begin right away, and whilst for us these are dangerous and risky changes, for a newborn the effects would be even riskier still. Yet, survival of the fittest has always proven a heartless but effective mistress. Due to the sheer number, a select few particularly compatible with the environment will not just survive, but thrive. So I am suggesting that the frog dogs you encounter are the equivalent of our settlement's champions. Only they are the survivors of an even more hostile and even harsher set of conditions. Frog dogs are strugglers in their own right. To reinforce that view, that they are shaped by their environment and mutated into the beasts you see, I'd like to point out the declawing and defanging of the beast. There is no reason why the frog dog would lose its sharp canines in favour of molars, would lose its powerful claws in place of human-like hands, without understanding the swamp and how it works. We know it achieved some of the results through the flora and fungi in the environment, as seen by our returning survivors. We also know that the frog dog consumes a large amount of this flora based on the toxic nature of its digestive emissions. Putting this together, it becomes obvious that the frog dog is consuming large amounts of flora, and therefore its mutations are working in its favour to create teeth better suited for chewing greenery. This is not just a coincidence. I would conjecture that the swamp is actively creating these traits to better assimilate individuals into its ecosystem. We can take this further, and in doing so explain one of the fundamental pieces of information we have. Something stinks, and it's the swamp. That smell, coming from the mutagenic flora, embeds itself most readily in your nose. Long exposure to the swamp has brought a large number of us to be proctophiliacs. They can't help but love the swamp. They feel empty without the smell. And when we look at the frog dog and how it hunts, its attention is nearly always on the stinkiest survivor on the hunt. This aligns nicely with the dog's native capabilities for smell, which may explain some of the compatibility between the cesspond and the dog. The swamp uses pollen to infest the host, and then it mutates the individual's senses to hunt for the scent, driving it to eat more of the flora and perpetuating the cycle. This also comes in handy as a defense mechanism. As intruders kick up spores, the creatures of the swamp will be alerted by the emission of smell, and furthermore, the combination of gaseous waters and toxic spores that the frog dog emits from its rear end, they make hunting you that much easier. It may be fair to say that the frog dog likes the smell of its own variety. This sense of smell would also explain why the frog dog's aqueous eyes are so poorly fitted for hunting above water. Its typical diet consists of flora, and doesn't offer much resistance in terms of fleeing. Its tiny pupils, not equipped for seeing in the dark, are only helpful in close quarters, and other than that, it's using its smell to find its prey. This is also why its violent attacks are rapid and plenty, but very inaccurate. It fights like it reproduces, hoping that sheer volume will win out in the end. There's not much more to say on the subject of its mutation at this stage, but I'll leave you with one final tangent. Somewhere, further up this inverted mountain, there is word of another dog, one that stands upright on hind legs and fights with a sword. They say that it was pup taken from the swamps, and that it shows no characteristics of the frog at all. But that's only what they say. Who knows what truth is behind it?